All right. Hello, Divine Feminines. How are you? Reading at night. I just did a little reading on the TikTok as a warm-up. Did the shuffle on camera there too. Oh, interesting. Better. Okay. There's that one. Eagle and seahorse. Eagle and seahorse. Snake. I've not seen that in a while. Healing. And then Divine Feminine, starfish on the bottom. I'm going to use a naked heart tonight. Ace of Wands. Nine of Wands. Though I always forget what the court cards are on this one. Spirit, what do you want me to ask tonight? I heard this earlier and I'm hearing it now. So what is about to happen? Got that on the TikTok. Got that on the TikTok. Got that on the TikTok. Oh, didn't get that one. The Sage. Oh, that's the Hermit. Five of Swords. Spirit of Wands, Seven of Wands, High Priestess, Hermit, Five of Swords, the Moon. So we also had that one. Five of Wands, Seven of Swords. You should probably go watch that reading too. The Lovers, Two of Swords. Yep, we had almost all these cards in that reading. And Six of Wands, and the Two of Cups, and the Four of Wands, and the Two of Wands. Yep, except this was here in that reading. So this is just a continuation of that reading. So this masculine knows that he is a very divinely magical being. He has had, look at these crazy numbers, 2, 3, 5, 5, 5, 3. You know, they're it's almost like a palindrome, which is, it's not though. Okay, so, which I think a palindrome can only be with letters anyway, but I don't know what they call it. Anyway, this masculine is an incredibly magical being, and he's very aware of this now. It is almost as if, like, there's the hamster here, but it's almost as if the hand of God came and opened this masculine's third eye himself, or their self, or herself, whatever you want to believe. And there is this crazy regalness here. I don't know. So they're giving me a scenario. I don't know what the scenario is. It's like, imagine you're in a room and I don't understand what this means, Spirit. So someone pulls like the rug out from under you. And you fall down. And I get it. You see things from a whole different perspective when you're laying on the floor. They're like the exact cards. That one wasn't there. My Divine Masculine card. That was the first one of these that came out. Twin Flame. Oh, God. He's being really sweet. Really sweet. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so you're laying on the floor, and you're like, wait, I knew everything that was going on here in this room. I knew colors of the wall and the lighting and the furniture, and I knew everything that was going on. And you fall down and you are laying on the ground and everything looks completely different. It's almost as if you had been transported to a completely different room. Now, in this scenario, the room is his mind. And it's like he thought he had everything figured out. and he thought he understood everything. And all of a sudden, then he figured out he was wrong. And that's sort of like, in a way, it's sort of like an identity change almost. But it's not like you chose it. It's like an entirely different clarity, yeah. So we've had 2 cards so far that have said waiting, worth waiting for. Wait and see. He doesn't want to wait anymore. So in the TikTok reading, it was all about if he comes back to you, when he comes back to you. In this one, it's not, the return doesn't feel as clear, but I do see the 6 of Wands here. So we had 777 in that reading. Here we have 7. And so, okay, I'm going to keep going for a second. His heart was very, very broken. And I guess I needed to do that reading first to understand, like, because I think this is what's going to happen, and that is kind of more of what happened. You know, there's a very, very sweet energy here. It's like you're showing up as this eagle, like king of the birds. You actually have a crown on in this card. And you're just like, Spirit has my back. You will not get to me again. Now, even if you're not feeling or thinking that, it's kind of the energy that you're bringing to the table. And you've got all this divine feminine energy here, all these wands, and you're just like, part of him is still trapped in the shadow of his heart, like the dark side of his heart, because whatever happened to him, oh, sorry, I'm processing a lot of energy. Okay, something happened to him that kind of stuck on his heart. And very often when we have heart stuff, we shove it underneath the heart. And it kind of becomes this armor around the heart, but you get through all of that super easily just by saying what you're saying. It's not even like you have to try. You just do. And I think like the way he was taught about relationships was to fight. Fight in relationships. That fighting was kind of the language of relationships and of love. And we talked about this card in the other reading. It's like he has an explanation that he hasn't been giving. He hasn't given it. I think you're sick of waiting, and I think you're trying to move forward with your life. Though we all know how this story goes. Oh, God. I haven't had this sort of yawning in a long time. It's like he's waking up from being asleep for years and years and years and years, and maybe his whole life. Imagine, again, we're going back to this scenario. Imagine you're in a room that you've spent your whole life in. Okay, it's a metaphor. Rug's pulled out from underneath you. Hit the floor. Heart is shattered. Hit your head. Pass out. Wake up. Somehow you feel like you're in a different room. You're in pain. You don't know where you are. Nothing seems right. You have like a nurse, that's you, who tries to explain things to you. And every time she talks to you, it feels like your heart is racing a mile a minute. Your head is so confused. You can't grasp anything. She sounds like she's speaking in a different language, but she clearly cares for you a great deal. And she's trying to talk to you about things that your family never talked about. I have the hair on me, it's just irritating me. And you're like, no, I need to figure out where I am. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where I am. I'm in pain. And none of this makes any sense. And yet, she's singing you this, like, energetic song that you're like, you can't escape from. You know, Lovers and High Priestess it's quite a powerful combination. And yet, they're bringing up the fact that the 4 major arcana you have here are mutable energies. Pisces, Gemini, Virgo. Also, what we're in the eclipse season of. Whew. It feels like he has processed this 180 situation. And look, this card even came up. It kind of reminds me of like the scenario that they're showing me in my head. And look what we have finally. These two have not come out together for a very long time. The Chaser. The photograph, sunglasses, the axe in reverse. Okay. It might be that there's another total 180 again. I do not know. This is kind of the first I'm hearing of this. Because in that TikTok reading, there wasn't that whole room scenario. There was this heart scenario where he felt like you kind of engraved his heart, tattooed his heart, etched his heart, like, and he hasn't been able to get rid of it. Oh my God, look, they just showed me between their beaks is a heart. It's like one heart. Oh my God, oh my God. That's how he feels about you. I don't know. Something major happened. And he had something in his, like he felt in his heart. I don't know what to say. Aquarius energy. And he feels you. I don't think I've ever said anything like this before. I mean, maybe I haven't, but because I don't remember. You guys have to laugh at me. But, look, I got it again. Something is telling me to talk to you, but I don't know what to say. This is crazy, you guys. This is crazy. Okay. I rarely get kind of spooked, but oh boy do I feel spooked right now. Alright. And like my face can't stop smiling. Like, I feel like if you feel like this, I don't even want to look at that card. The Magician. Oh my god. You have to go watch that TikTok video. That was the card that fell out while I was shuffling. Alright, okay. Alright, Sarah. My body's getting super hot. Okay. I can't even, honest to God, remember what I was going to say. You etched something on his heart. And, you know, the bringing, my shaman mentor, she told a story to me once about how she went to India and what happened to her during that time. And oh my god, you guys, this is the craziest reading I've ever done. Oh my god. Okay, and I feel like he's had a transcendent experience. I don't know if he went somewhere and something occurred, or if it was like an out-of-body situation, or a substance. I do not know. You changed me. Sacred geometry, Aquarius again, ether. I feel like he definitely went to the etheric plane. Gemini. I write texts and I delete them. Libra. I'm manifesting you. Do you even miss me? We're a lot alike. I'm planning to surprise you. Isis. I listen to music and I think how it was. You see through my mask. I'm scared you'll leave or hurt me. I know I treated you badly and I'm too proud to say sorry. I crave you. Capricorn. Communication will come soon. Emerald. Rabbit. Bought you some flowers. The Alchemist. Moon again. I don't know what to say. Sagittarius. Magician. Sage Smudge. Ho'oponopono, like attracts like. I drive by your house. I think he's done a lot more stalking, fake profiling, catfishing, phantom is the word coming up, cover up, work on you than you realize. And I think he's been very, very stealthy about it. You know, the owls are like silent when they fly, and the high priestess is silent, and the moon is very much kind of that energy too. It's a very silent energy, and I think he's had his aim on you a lot longer and more so than you actually think. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Confidence is key to success. I mean, I get that scared energy. I do not get a confident energy. I feel like if he ever was confident with you, that was a show. That was a mask. Surrender to the divine. I think he did. Your hard work is paying off. Adjustments are required. Show the world the real you, Aquarius. Time for healing. Answers you need are coming. South Node. God. Win-win. Good. Okay. Emotions are running high. Meditate and contemplate. That's Pisces. That's the eclipse with the Virgo. We're going to have a new romantic cycle begins. Your dreams need a practical plan. So what seems to be on kind of his heart and mind is the practical nature of things. Seems quite impractical. There is this okay, look. So when twin flames are separated, they're quite strong and powerful on their own. But when they're together, right, there's another force that is so strong. It's like an untouchable force. And there's something about that. You could have had a tarot reading or a psychic reading or something, or like some experience. She feels she knows. What you want wants you. The Nautilus Show. Collaborative dreaming, spirals of manifestation, conscious connections, visions of life beyond death, inspiration, release the dark wound and let love live, softly, softly, the tender touch. Sacred Fool, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause and focus on the light. I feel like he has had like a divine interaction with Jesus or God or spirit or, you know, goddess, whatever it is, whoever it is, you know, Holly. There's something that happened here that fundamentally shifted the way that he saw this and the way that he saw you. And I get a feeling here. It hasn't all been smooth sailing. You know, when I was dealing these cards right here, I felt Scorpio presence, but I get it with the Capricorn too. It's like the Scorpio has 3 levels, you know, Scorpion, Eagle, and then Phoenix. And the Capricorn's the only creature here that can, in the tarot, that can go from the bottom of the ocean to the top of the mountain. And that's sort of like the Scorpio glyph is like this, right? It's like a roller coaster. It goes up and down. And I don't know, he sees you guys as like a symbiotic pair. Like, he knows there's something in here that he knows that when he treats you badly, or he disrespects you, or he goes against you somehow, or he doesn't act even with good intention, that the punishment is very, very severe. And this has changed him. You know, for some of them, they may have had really difficult situations, you know, mental health, law, you know, really rock bottom type situations. I don't think that's for everybody, but in their mind, they all went to a new, different place. Okay, I think I got my point across. I really hate it when readers like belabor a point like 19 different times. I was just hoping to get a little bit more. The good thing I see from those cards right there is that I feel like, you know, he's running towards this twin flame, not away. Where I think of before, it would always come out like that. And that doesn't mean I'm saying you're going to be in union in 5 minutes. because I also really dislike that whole thing, because everybody, it always is perfect timing for you. But I do feel like an overwhelming energy. It's kind of crazy. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. That it doesn't, I get the feeling now, it doesn't even matter if he's like on his way, and it really doesn't matter what you say. Like, it doesn't matter. It feels in a lot of ways very unconditional. Like the Fear card came up in reverse. Creation, discernment, acceptance. It's interesting they're all in reverse. Peace, protection, beauty, resistance, the unexpected. And then this, famous card. Self-reflection. He's reflecting himself on you. But I just don't think anything's going to stop him. Even you saying, no, I can't do this. I don't feel the same way. I don't think it has any bearing on the fact that he has a truth to tell you, and it's going to tell you. Which, for me to say that, it is coming a long, long way from where he used to be. And I'm not saying, like, you have to listen, and I'm not saying you should do anything you don't want to do at all. Because you're a sovereign being, and he's got this all tied up card twice. There seems to be a question in your mind about how valuable is this anymore. I don't feel like in a lot of ways the feminines has kind of proved themselves, like proved their own worth to themselves and their own like psychic connection and their own ability to create material wealth, and like, oh wow. And they're like, well, what do I need you for exactly? Oh, look. Something feels. So we have Deceit, Angel of Strength, and the Thinking Man, which is King of Swords on the bottom. From these cards, I know I'm saying it doesn't matter what you say, but it does feel with this King of Swords in reverse. I wouldn't, if you want to hear what he has to say, I would probably approach it, with letting him say it first and letting him tell you without interrupting and without explaining yourself and without all of that. If you want to hear it. For some reason, he really thinks that you have, I don't know if it's purposefully or vindictively or maliciously, kind of not allowed him to, I see. It's kind of a victim mode here. It's kind of like he's like, why won't you let me experience my full wealth, my full abundance? And where you haven't done anything. Cancer, the body, ground trine, blessings, love, Mercury, retrograde, Neptune, and void, of course, moon, missing. And Saturn on the truth. It's like that abundance. It says truth, I am, and then change, and I believed, and roots. It is like that the truth needs to be spoken for this kind of, like I was talking about, that third energy and all of the abundance to kind of crystallize is the word they're using. But that reading has me shook, I'm telling you. It seems to be very centered around the throat and being unlocking the throat and allowing the words to come out and allowing the truth to be heard and said and felt and known. It's like, I feel like there's been truth locked up in the body for a very long time. Feelings locked within the body. That maybe it could have been that there was a lot of trauma from being young, and then this love came in and kind of released a lot of it to be felt. But he didn't want to feel it at the time. But he realized very strongly that there's, I mean, this really is like the Virgo Neptune axis, Pisces axis right here. Like, trying to let it go. It almost brought it was like a feeling of ruin or despair, or like I told you, like, what have I done? And though I don't think he's gonna come say that per se, like, I feel like he will give you some kind of understanding that this affected him, like, on a really, like, a first, what I would call first house level, like, it affected who he was. And that was that whole room analogy, you know. There is something here about, like, how I saw that card when I picked up the deck. They want you to embrace creativity and to embrace, like, a clean slate. And that partially means you have to rebel to a degree from your programming. Like, that rebel word has become very important. And I kind of, it's almost like a signpost marker for me. Like, it's been said to me many, many times along the way. And then I kind of saw that quote that made it all make sense of, like, to be an artist is to rebel against your programming. That's from Osho, and it's paraphrased. But and I've also been learning a lot about, like, rejection, dysmorphia, and they really want you to reflect and think, what is the actual value of all of this stuff that I'm dragging along with me? Like, this whole day has been, like, kind of decorator crabs and sea animals that, like, drag other animals along with them for some reason. And it feels like that's kind of what you're doing here. It's like, do you want, you're saying you want this new experience, like this new level, this new, you know, third element here. But you keep showing up with all the old junk, right? And I get this feeling from Spirit that they're like, didn't we go over this? Aren't we, like, didn't we heal some of this stuff, but yet you still have it? And they're bringing up the eagle, and it's like, well, the eagle can't fly at all if it's trying to carry, you know, whatever they carry, like a 200-pound trash bag of stuff. No, to fly as high as they can't carry anything. They have to have faith that they themselves are enough. And there is this fear here, this fear of like, if I don't protect myself, I'll get rejected again, and that will hurt. And they're saying like, you kind of missed the entire point of that lesson if that's what you got out of it. And trust me when I say, like, I definitely have rejection dysmorphia, and I'm extremely, extremely sensitive, and that's always been an issue for me, and it's just kind of lately been something I could really work with. And part of that whole healing of the rejection wound, of the abandonment wound, of all of those things, is that at the end of it, you have to figure out that the perceived rejection and the perceived abandonment and the hurt was really never, never, never about you. And that you come to some kind of wholeness within yourself where you aren't needing the validation. And you're willing to say, yeah, I can leave that behind because it's not serving me. And that's where you two are right now. Like, I feel like whatever is coming in is this confrontation of sorts. I'm not sure why that word exactly. Oh my God, I have a hair on me and I cannot get it off. It is making me crazy. Okay. You know when it's like attached like under your arm or something and you just can't find it? That's not where that goes. So, you're going to get a very big opportunity here to choose wisely and to choose differently. It may be almost the exact repeat of what happened before. It could involve a karmic energy on your side, although I don't see that specifically here. Yeah, a Page of Cups. A water sign could come into the picture. If you've been through like a karmic cycle before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Where like the karmic comes in and you have to choose, and you can't not choose them, and you have to learn a lesson. It's so awful. Okay. Cordelia, go outside. Nematona, sacred space. Rhiannon, sorceress. Abundant, prosperity. And I do feel like, and then Sekhmet, be strong. Do feel there's all this prosperity and all of this abundance just locked up in kind of this. Look, she has the cornucopia too, which was the other card that was showed locked up. And it's like, it says, the universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving, right? We can't receive when we're holding on to stuff. We can't receive when we're holding on to stuff, right? You know that saying, you have to have the open hand. Stop holding on to things that make you weak. Sekhmet says, be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and the strength assures a happy outcome. And we did get strength in the TikTok reading. Cordelia, go outside. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. And I think that's actually about doing different things than you're used to. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. You're a magical person who can manifest clear intentions into reality. And as I said before, that was like the very first opening statement I think I made, that he's very aware that he's a magical being. He's very aware that he's different than other people, and so are you. You guys are different than other people, and he probably treated you in a lot of ways like you're the same or worse, and that's, he regrets that. Swear to God, his hair. And, your boundaries are too high now, and your understanding of yourself is too high. And you're just, like, it's a weird thing to say, but I posted this on my Instagram, and it's like, you're anointed. You are anointed. And it's just a fact of the way that it is. So you can call any of these goddesses in if you want to work with them more. Petrified Wood Ancestor, Spirit Quartz Music, Emerald Compassion. So I think that's the third time. Black Tourmaline Protection, Stibnite Conflict, and Hidnite Gratitude. Kunzite Self-Love, Soulmate Peace, Hematite Grounding, and then Divine Temple. You do seem very protected. It does seem like there may be some kind, it's not like a tower energy, but it's like a little disruption. Like, I know the scenario that I gave is like a tower energy, but the tower didn't come out, and nothing really like it. I mean, you did have some cards that would suggest a little bit of turmoil here, but I feel like it was mostly, out of the one, Seven of Wands, it's like, I don't know why I'm getting this weird energy off of those cards right now, but it's almost like, how can I fight for something that is me? You know what I'm saying? That's such a weird thing to say. But it's like he has this recognition that he was causing a bunch of drama and a bunch of chaos and hurt and anger. And it's like the person that he was doing it to the most was himself and you, which is part of him. And it's like this recognition of that, the fact that you two are joined together, that it's like he had to see the pain reflected in you. So it says, secret admirer, someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. My beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. When it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. And then it says, emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they also can distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. If you could do anything, what would it be? The azure dwells in your heart, not in your mind, for the heart is the gateway to the soul. And that, it always happens this way. They give me one card and it's like the whole reading, but it's like his heart is the gateway. And when it's closed, it's like he's acting destructively to himself, but to you too, and to everyone else. It's just like, and he feels you in his heart, and he has to go there. It's like he tries not to, and he tries to block it out, but he has to go there because you're there, and he feels it. I hope I'm making that clear. And then it says freedom. There's nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. So I really hope this has helped you. If you want to work with any of these energies, just call them in, ask them to work with you. Yeah, and thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting and all that. And I really appreciate it. Bye for now.